Hello, I am Wayne Smith and I will be prosecuting the Texas v. Costello case.
Hi Mr. Smith, my name is Victoria Johnson and I will be representing Mr. Costello.
I have to say this is a very sad case. Poor Mrs. Costello never had a chance. I will be honest, it's not looking good for Mr. Costello.
Yes, it's very unfortunate, but I believe Mr. Costello may have a better chance than you think.
Let's sit down and talk this through. We have much to discuss. I'm going to be honest with you, Mrs. Johnson. Due to the heinousness of this crime, we will be seeking the death penalty.
I thought you might. Which is why I wanted to bring up some of the mitigating circumstances of this case.
I'll be glad to hear you out, but Mr. Costello was caught in the act. There's not much you can do.
Mr. Smith, I disagree. Respectfully, of course. I believe you don't have all the facts, so let me educate you. Juan Costello grew up in San Antonio during the heart of the drug war. His entire family was involved in the manufacturing and distribution of crack cocaine. He was used as a drug mule, and they made him carry a gun at all times. Juan grew up in the subculture of the code of the streets, fighting over respect and using violence to maintain it.
Do you think a jury will buy that? Personal history is no excuse for murder. Every individual has a responsibility for their own actions.
That is a simple answer, Mr. Smith. We need to look deeper into the culture of America to determine the true reason for the high rate of murder here.
That is beside the point.
On the contrary, it is precisely the point. Shall we continue to kill murderers endlessly without seeking to find the real problem?
Okay, what do you think the actual problem is?
There is no simple answer to this problem. In this instance, however, it begins with the interplay of guns, drugs, inequality, and the code of the streets.
How would that explain this particular murder?
It unfortunately does not explain particular instances of murder. However, it does help to explain the mitigating circumstances for this case. The culture of America is so disrupted that it led to the large-scale drug trade in which Juan was involved. The mass amount of weapons that are readily available provided the means of violence to maintain the drug trade. Also, the economic and racial inequalities that persist here created the need to gain economic support from drugs. Racial inequality can also explain the code of the streets that developed as its own subculture.
I recognize your mitigating circumstances as valid. There is clearly a deeper issue at stake here than just one murder. In light of these circumstances, I will not seek the death penalty.
That's excellent. I'm so glad you have an open mind.
However, I have a reputation to uphold. Life without the possibility of parole should be sufficient. Good luck convincing the jury with that liberal ideology. I'll appeal to their retributive hearts and win no problem. This is Texas after all. Ha ha ha.
I cannot believe you. I'm taking you down.